Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading for November. This is your monthly reading. So I'm going to tell you the pre-reading meditation first of all before it disappears out of my mind. So basically, the first thing I saw was like a filter or a funnel connected to a coffee machine. And there was something about filtering or funneling information so that it is concentrated, so that it's pure, so that it's not watered down. And this would either be information that you're receiving or that you're sharing. But yeah, there was that their theme of things being pure and concentrated. Yeah, so that was it basically. Very short, but it gave me a big headache. And to be frank, one thing I've noticed now that one of my tells when I'm getting information and it's correct is that I get a big headache. I don't know why it has to be that way, but yeah, that tells me. But anyway, so we do have quite a bit going on this month. I mean, we're in Scorpio season now. We've got a new moon in Scorpio on the 1st of November. We've got Pluto going back into your sign in on the 19th of November. So, you know, feel free if you feel the impact of that, feel free to share. I would love to hear, you know. I've been babbling on about this whole Pluto business for ages. So yeah, especially with Aquarius and Capricorns, I'd love to hear your experience of that. As I've said before, I do daily written tarot and oracle card readings now. Those are available on Instagram or the community page on the YouTube version of the channel. So see the description box if you want to look at that. And also, if you want a personal reading, see the description box for that as well. But we're going to get into your reading. We're going to start off with a message from Secrets of the Ancestors. That was my birthday, one of my birthday gifts to myself. It's been on my wish list for a while. And then we'll wrap things up with a final message of guidance from the Isis Oracle. So, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, what do we need to know for November 2024? So for Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, what do we need to know? Anything at all? Anything? Okay. Oh no, that's too many. That's too many. Do I want to try that again? I'm actually going to take this one because that one is upright. Yeah, that one is upright and it feels right. Father of Water, Balance and Harmony. I've got 3 cards there. That's too much. I'll show you what they are, but I believe this one is right. So we have the Huntress, Soul Awakening, Root of Fire, Risk It All, and Mother of Fire, Shine and Rise. But I think that's the one. So put that to the side. See, this is a new deck to me, so I have used it, but I'm not 100% familiar with it, and I'm wondering if it's meant to be the King of Cups. But because it says balance and harmony, you would think that's more to do with air energy. But anyway, which Aquarius is a combination of water and a water bearer, isn't it? But it's air energy, so I guess that's what draws me to that card as well. Let's get the tarot out and then I'll look in the book at that card for you. So what do we need to know for Aquarius? Yep. Okay, Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. And there you are, Aquarius. So this is your main energy. You got quite a bit of masculine energy there with those kings, haven't you? You've got 2 kings. Yep, the 2 kings there. Well, 3 if this one is considered to be the King of Cups or something. Just neaten them up a little bit. Okay, and let's see what this is in the book, what it says in the book. So, Father of Water, Balance and Harmony, 31. Yeah, it's the King of Cups, by the way. It says, trust your instincts. There is unity and balance. See, this directly connects to I just did Leo, and theirs was very much about trusting themselves. But anyway, there is unity and balance between your head, heart, and spirit. a balance between the conscious and unconscious. This is a good thing. Although you must give yourself permission to feel your emotions fully and completely, acting out in tantrums or rage is not healthy for you or your loved ones. The answer is not more control. The answer is doing your spiritual healing work. This paternal ancestor is spiritually mature and compassionate. He comes through when you may need a reminder to be more open and trust your heart. If there is a Prince Charming, this is his dad with more substance. King Charming, I like that. The ancestral memory says this ancestor comes forward as Sun Zwafi. I've probably butchered that completely. Zulu god of healing. He brings forward the energy of giving and receiving, compassion and kindness. This ancestor is a kind, generous and centered father, stable and calm in the raging seas of life. In some traditions, he is a goddess rather than a god. The ancestral medicine part says, have you experienced positive and loving divine masculine energy? This is very different from patriarchal energy. You are capable of balance and worthy of loving and being loved fully and completely. And the shadow aspect, if the card was reversed, but I'll read it anyway, says, where is your empathy? Yes, you have been hurt, but having the walls up is hurting you even more. Just because you turn a blind eye to your issues and problems doesn't mean they go away. And as it said, the tarot correspondence is the King of Cups. And the declaration says, I embrace my feelings and allow myself emotional harmony. So it's interesting that it speaks about the unity and balance, and it speaks of the conscious and unconscious. And I got that message in the beginning about the filter or the funneling of information. And it could be emotions as well, because it's liquid, isn't it? It was liquid I was seeing, so the filtering and funneling of emotions could be connected to this as well. Let's get into the tarot cards for you. So as your main focal point, we've got the Five of Pentacles and the Star. That is, I would say that's very much about healing there. The Five of Pentacles, it's loss, it's lack, it can be spiritual, poverty. And then the Star is extremely spiritual, very healing. And it's you, it's Aquarius as well. So let's get some clarifiers on that. What else do we need to know? Nine of Wands, I would say there's definitely some sort of healing going on. And is there going to be a connection between Pluto and what? Pluto going into your sign, maybe. It may be the start of a new cycle of healing for you, I'll be honest. And it wouldn't be necessarily be a short one either, unfortunately. What wanted to come out was the Ace of Swords, which to me, I'm not going to take that one because it didn't come out properly, but it would indicate like clarity and lessons, if you want to call it lessons, around healing and where you've been. I almost feel like saying harmed. I can't think of another word apart from harmed, to be honest. Drained, harmed. Let's see what else comes out. The cards are coming out kind of funny, aren't they? Well, Knight of Swords, the Sun, it's the same as the Ace of Swords, isn't it? Basically, it's truth, and then the Sun is like illumination. So, again, it's kind of clarity and lessons, if you want to call it that. Anything else? You've got the Four of Wands there. The Lovers, okay, in reverse. You may find you're going to go through a period of healing around relationships with the Lovers, all relationships, romantic, family. I mean, family with that Four of Wands as well. There's something very much about the foundations. And I know, what is the Four of Wands? What is the Four of Wands? I know it's fire energy. I'm just trying to think of the specific sign and I don't know. But it's almost giving me Cancerian energy when we think about the like your family roots and stuff like that. So you may really find that and I don't know how long this period of time will last. As I say, it could be that once Pluto, or starting now, but as Pluto goes into your sign, it's more prominent that there's something about healing, family, I don't want to say bloodlines, but just like the roots, the family roots, that sort of thing. And then you've got the Father of Water there. It's father energy, isn't it? It's masculine patriarchal energy. And I mean patriarchal in just the general term as well, the general neutral term. So there could be something in relation to someone healing their relationship with men, masculine figures, father energy, patriarchal energies as well. Let's see what else we've got going on here for you. So we have the past energies here, Page of Wands. I mean, that is a kid. Wow. Okay. This feels like where you would have been held back as a child. It's where you would have been held back, possibly from being yourself, from doing things, from exploring, either by a parent, family member, etc., or where you've had to protect yourself even as well. Even someone protecting their identity. So I will bring it up, but you know, like if someone was gay, having to protect that part of themselves. Let's see what else comes up for that. Someone really may have had to hide who they are or who they were. Page of Wands, Four of Pentacles, or just generally not feeling like they're allowed to be themselves. Yeah, the Hierophant, it already feels like that, the restrictive side of the Hierophant, where it's like you live in my house and you live under my rules kind of energy, or society's rules, or the rules of your culture, whatever. Anything else? And the Knight of Wands is where the person is a rebel or wants to rebel. If you didn't actually rebel, then you wanted to rebel against these rules. Or you just were different compared to your family, culture, whatever. You were different. You were the black sheep is a bit of a weird... Well, no, I get it. I get the whole black sheep thing. But I don't know. It's a funny term because it makes someone sound like they're bad. And they're not necessarily, are they? Just because they're different, they're not bad. But yes, I get it. It's like the black sheep, whereas has anybody ever seen a black sheep? We usually see white sheep, so I get it. It's very different from what the norm is. See, there's fears here around someone being themselves or expressing themselves or doing what they want to do with that Nine of Swords. Again, that protective energy. Anxiety as well. What else? Two of Wands. Again, it really could be to do with someone's sexuality. That's a feeling that's coming up quite strongly here. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but that is something that's coming up. But yeah, definitely an energy of restriction. Whether you've restricted yourself, others around you restricted you when you were younger, or all of the above, where you just had to protect yourself because you didn't necessarily have the freedom to choose the path that you wanted to choose. So let's look at the challenge. Well, we've got the anxiety card again with the Nine of Swords and the Lovers. Okay, so anxiety, the challenge around choosing what you want to do, who you want to be. And the thing is, as an adult now, you could actually be living your life the way you want to live it, but that doesn't mean that there's zero anxiety. That doesn't mean there's zero anxiety. Again, that sexuality thing is coming up with the Lovers there. So has someone not come out of the closet yet and they want to come out? And when I say the closet, yes, it can be sexuality, but it can also be the broom closet as well. I love bringing up the broom closet, don't I? Maybe someone hasn't come out of the broom closet yet and revealed that their path is the path of a witch or a mystic or whatever. But there's definitely anxiety about choosing what you love. It can even relate to, again, say if it was relationships and the kind of person that you want to be with. Say you want to be with someone who's from a different culture, or there's just something very different about them where you feel that your family wouldn't accept them, and it's like, this is who I want to be with, and I know it's going to cause a massive load of problems. Age differences, all sorts, it could be anything. Let's get some clarifiers on that for you. So not what wanted to come out, the Wheel of Fortune. See, this to me, it's that something different, doing something different. I'm not going to take it, but it indicates doing something different. from what's expected or what the norm would be, right? Knight of Cups in reverse. That's where it's like you have a dream, but you kind of held back from it. Whatever that dream is, whether it is to be with a person, to live a certain life, to follow a certain path. And also what I get with that Nine of Cups as well is, I can't think of the right word for this now, disapproval. So it's like, even if you are someone who's quite fearless and you're doing what you want, sometimes we have people around us that, I don't know what's going on with them, that's their issue to work through, but they're just always disapproving no matter what you do. Like they never acknowledge your achievements or just who you are. Forget your achievements, just who you are as a person. They're never willing to appreciate and celebrate who you are. And that's kind of what that feels like as well. And I can tell that that is something that weighs heavily on someone, because I feel like I literally want to cry. So yeah. Anything else? Temperance. So again, that healing energy. We have the Strength card. It feels like healing again. And then the Hermit, to be frank again, feels like healing. It's a challenge. Let me just get one more for that. It feels like a challenge, because that word disapproval stuck with me with that Knight of Cups. So as I say, for some it could be making the choice to live your life the way you want it, and the challenge is to overcome the fears and the worry and everything around that, and to have the courage and to heal and to just follow the path and trust yourself and do what you've got to do. And then for others it will be that disapproval energy that just, I don't know, it's like it kind of has a hold on someone. It's just that knowing, isn't it, that there's someone significant in your life that just really doesn't accept something about you, or they criticize something about you, or there's just something there that it can have a hold on you. And even if it's something where you've kind of got on with your life and said, oh, I don't give a shit about what they think, I almost feel like it could come back up at this time. It could come back up, and it's one of those things, when you think you've dealt with a lesson and then it's like out of nowhere it comes back up, and it's like, what the fuck is this? I thought I dealt with that already. And then it just resurfaces, and it's like, shit, I've got to go through this again. Trust me, it's happened to me so many times now. But it's that kind of feeling. It's revisiting. It feels like a revisiting of something, almost visiting or revisiting, really, but revisiting does come up strongly. And there's work to be done here with that Hermit and the High Priestess. There's work to be done and healing around that Temperance, Strength. I mean, look, 4 major arcana. That's big. That's a big deal, and it's a big challenge. Well, 5 if you include the Lovers. But as I say, that word disapproval is standing out big time. So let's look at the King of Wands. These are the external influence. Well, the King of Wands and Judgment as external factors. The first thing that comes to mind. So again, I already said that the energies here, say when you were a kid. Okay, I'm looking at this 2 ways actually. On the one hand, this can be that controlling, judgmental energy of someone, especially when you were a kid, but it could also be as an adult now. That's just my way or the highway kind of energy, like you live by my rules, it's my rules or no rules. And yes, it can be masculine energy because it's the King of Wands, and we've had quite a bit of masculine energy on the on here so far. So I'm looking at it from that perspective as an external influence, but it's also a calling for you as well to take your power and your control back. And as I say again, even if you are someone who has already said, oh, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna rebel and whatever, you can't, sometimes we can do that physically on the surface, but then internally, as I say, there's still that hold, that disapproval that has a bit of a hold over you internally. Even if other people see confidence and see you as getting on with it, you will know if you've got that feeling inside of you that you still feel like you're being judged or not, or criticized or not accepted or not respected or not valued, or that there's a disapproval. You'll know if that feeling is still there. So let's see what else comes up for that. So King of Wands and Judgment. the Death card, the Page of Pentacles, yep, I should have said it in advance. The Page of Pentacles often, well, not often, but sometimes, usually depending on what card it is with, but for me, it can feel like that not enough, like it's not enough. And then especially with that Five of Pentacles right next to it, that is where someone would feel like they're not enough. It's where the self-worth takes a hit. And as I said, it's more of the external influence, although I did look at it two ways, but it's the need to transform that in yourself and probably in somehow in your relationship with whoever this represents, that controlling energy or that judgmental or disapproving energy represents. There's a need to transform that somehow, where it has knocked your self-worth in some way, shape or form. Anything else? Two of Pentacles and Two of Cups. So one of the things that the Two of Cups can represent for me is understanding between people. Maybe that can be achieved. Maybe you're being pushed to do that, where you do have a relationship with someone who they have got that disapproving type energy. Maybe it's possible. It's not always going to be possible, but maybe it is possible. You may even be thinking, what can I do to get more understanding from this person, or to have a more understanding relationship? Or it may be that you're wishing for that. I mean, it can't, well, I was going to say it can't hurt to try, but it might, to be frank. I think you need to figure that one out for yourself, if it is worth, if you feel it's worth trying to create that sense of understanding in a relationship, or looking at what you can do, what's possible, what is possible with that Two of Pentacles. What can you do? What is the best that you can do in that relationship to get the understanding there? Let's look at the Six of Pentacles, which is whatever's hidden or that you need to be more aware of. I mean, Six of Pentacles, first of all, is about give and take, isn't it? Okay, I like that. I'm getting a strong lead by example energy with the Six of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, like a very mature, stable energy that would lead by example, that gives and receives. And so obviously, if you're in a situation where excuse me, you've had a relationship or relationships with family members or whoever where you haven't been treated well, you're probably going to feel bitter. And I'm not going to knock you for that. I have family members that I still feel bitterness with regard to. I think most of us have. Some people are able to get past that, and yeah, I commend that. That's, you know, that's great that you can do that. But there are many of us who have that bitterness, and I think something to be aware of is, I think, be aware of your power to lead by example, and try and address the bitterness somehow. And if it's possible to transmute it, get rid of it, transform it, whatever, then do that, because that will probably help. And I think you have the power to do that as well. I really do, with these cards coming up like that. There's something about generosity here as well, and that will be very individual for what you would consider to be generosity, in terms of dealing with someone that you've had a difficult relationship with. Like for some, the generosity could just be simply having a conversation that could be like, yeah, that's the best I can do. You're lucky I'm even talking to you. For others, it could be helping someone. It could be helping the person that you've had a complicated relationship in some way, shape or form. And to be frank, that could change things. You never know. People are capable of change, and we don't know unless we try. We often assume that I think it's normal sometimes, if someone's been the same way for like 50 years or something, you would think, oh, they're never going to change. But you never know. If you interact with them in a different way and you lead by example and show who you are and who you've grown to be, maybe that will trigger them into being different, possibly. Let's see what the Six of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles have to say. Do I want to take? Yes, I do want to take them. I wasn't sure, but Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, it is giving again excuse me, a lead by example. type energy, showing that you, or demonstrating that you are stable, secure, that you are just getting on with it. And I feel like saying that you don't hold a grudge, and I wouldn't really necessarily criticize anyone for holding a grudge, because I know that some circumstances it's like, shit, that's a lot to get past and to get over and to forgive someone for. But that does come to mind for at least one person here as well. If you're able to show that you don't hold a grudge, that might really be beneficial to you. I mean, it's beneficial to not hold a grudge in general anyway, but if there was going to be some sort of understanding and rebalancing and balance and harmony within a relationship, that would likely help, showing that you don't hold a grudge. Right, anything else? Yeah, don't hold a grudge energy again. 5 of Cups, Justice. It's where you need to allow yourself to grieve. If you haven't already grieved for whatever went on, whether it is disapproval, criticism, whatever it is, if you haven't grieved over that already, I think that will help. And maybe addressing things with the relevant person or people involved in this will help you to grieve as well, and to come out of the other end with things more balanced, with the Justice card there. So this is what you need to be more aware of. It's the power that you have to again, I keep just getting lead by example. And to rebuild from this as well. But you may have already kind of rebuilt your life from a difficult situation. But as I said, this feels like it could be a refresher for a few people at least. And it's like you may rebuild in a way that you didn't even know you were going to rebuild your life or yourself in once you deal with all of this. Let's have a look at the future energies up here. So future energies, 7 of, wow, okay. 7 of Wands, 3 of Cups. I would say it's going to be challenging. It is going to be challenging with that 7 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. You might be resistant as well, if I'm being honest. It's going to be challenging and you might be resistant. And I would make sure that you're aware of who is around you that can support you through this as well, or who will be able to help support you through this. Are there people that you have good relationships that can support you with this? But for someone, you might also be surprised that whoever you had the difficult relationship with, there is the chance that things could change as well, and support could show up from the person that you had issues with, or you could end up supporting them in some way, but it doesn't look like it's going to be easy, if I'm being honest. So 7 of Wands and 3 of Cups. Well, we have the Star, so that's a good sign, and we have the Chariot, that's a good sign, and we have the Empress, that's a good sign. I think you've probably got the most majors I've ever seen in a reading in my life, so this is not something small. There's the potential for things to really move on here, and whether that means that you're able to somehow come to a place of understanding and balance with the person who's been involved in the problems. There is the possibility for that, where it creates a sort of healed relationship where you move forward and there's a more nurturing energy within the relationship. Or this may be just you, that you're able to feel like you're healing and move forward and nurture yourself first and foremost with the Empress there. A couple more for that. But as I say, it's going to be challenging. It really feels like it's going to be challenging. Again, 4 of Swords. It's and it's a slow process with that 4 of Swords. I know swords are generally quick, like swords. Okay. Yeah, swords usually represent weeks, I believe, in tarot. So in 4 weeks, my calendar is too far away for me to see. Well, I know that. So Pluto goes into Aquarius on the 19th of November, so that is within 4 weeks, isn't it, basically? So that 4 weeks could be significant. But that said, the whole process isn't, I'd say the whole process is not going to be quick, but it's just that there's something significant within the 4 weeks, or in 4 weeks. Can I get one more for this, please? Five of Swords. I mean, I already said it was going to be challenging anyway. Can I get one just for that Five of Swords on its own? So Eight of Wands and Ace of Cups. That feels quite mysterious, I'll be honest with you. Oh, okay. There's something about the way you communicate and express yourself here, and that connects to the pre-reading meditation. Within the situation, I've already spoken about the potential for defensiveness, and it's going to be challenging. So you may have to be, with that whole where I said filtered, funneled information. I mean, yes, you want it to be pure and have pure intentions and to be clear about what you're saying and everything, but you might also have to be, did it mention compassion in here, or am I thinking of the other reading I just did with Leo? There's something where there's going to need to be compassion. Just be careful of any bitterness that comes through in the way you communicate and express yourself with the relevant people, because it could completely fuck it all up, to be frank. If I'm just going to put it bluntly, it could fuck it all up, whereas it's, if you want to make progress, you're not going to want to put your foot in it, are you? I mean, obviously you want to be honest and you want to be authentic, but there's no point being unnecessarily mean. It's not, I don't see it as beneficial, and it doesn't look like it's beneficial here. And as I say, it looks like it's a warning in how you communicate. Try and be compassionate and express yourself lovingly, as well as being honest and standing up for yourself as well. And this is future energy. So I guess it's a warning that there is potential for arguments, but again, that lead by example energy, if you can be very compassionate and express yourself as maturely as you can and as balanced as you can, then that might be more beneficial to the situation. So let's look at your guidance. That felt like guidance, but let's look at the guidance for you. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune. See, the Ten of Pentacles is family again, and that's legacy, isn't it? It's a kind of legacy energy. What is your end goal? Like, what would you like to happen? I think is a question that I need to ask with that Ten of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. And obviously, what would you like to happen in the situation with the person you've had difficulties with, but also, like, say if you have your own family as well now, and that part of things is fine. Like, how do you want things to be for your family? Like, say, even if it was for someone where you were not able to work things out with the person you've had problems with, what lessons can you take from that experience and say, right, that went to shit. I don't want that to happen with my own little individual family. What legacy can I leave, or example can I set that things are different for my own little family unit now, so that things are better? I think that's the question that's been asked here. How can you do it better, basically? Let's get some clarifiers on that. So we've got the Fool, and that would be doing it differently, wouldn't it? Three of Swords. One thing I'd say is in terms of how you deal with pain, and support. See what else comes up. Pain, your pain, and the, like, say if you within your little family unit, when anybody's in pain, mentally, physically, whatever, how is that dealt with? If anybody's got any issues, how is that dealt with? How do you want to go forward and deal with that? And do it in a way that's improved from how things were dealt with in the past in your life, where things were complicated. So we've got the moon. Well, I think one thing you'd want to do is nobody would be, you wouldn't want anybody to hide their pain and have to keep it to themselves, because as I said, the energy I picked up in the past here was someone not being able to be themselves and feeling restricted, and my house, my rules kind of energy. Something about how people's fears are dealt with here as well. And emotions, the moon, the Queen of Cups, judgment. Overall, it's making better decisions and doing things differently. And I would say allowing everyone to feel their emotions and express their emotions as well. Nobody should have to hide their emotions or their pain. But as I say, overall, it's up to you how you want to move forward in your future, with your family, with the people you've had difficulties with, whoever's involved. That's your guidance. It's your choice. What's the legacy? What do you want the legacy to be? So let's get you some final guidance from the Isis Oracle. Final guidance for Aquarius. No. Okay, that one then. Right, so a few more wanted to come out, but that one fell, so okay. Right, we have the Nut of Isis. Part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to the goddess. And I would say, because so much of that masculine energy came in, but the side of the masculine energy where there was a lot of control and restriction, this is about that feminine energy, the compassion, the compassionate side, which the King of Cups is compassionate as well. And it's using that nurturing, compassionate energy to change things for the better. And the protectiveness as well, that protective energy too. That especially with kids should be protected. They shouldn't feel like they have to hide themselves or their pain or be restricted to that extent, should they? Okay. I think I will leave it there. Yeah, we'll leave it there. I think that's it. Feel free to share if it resonated, what resonated. Intense reading, to be honest, but I really felt that one. So again, if you want to see the daily written tarot and oracle card readings, or book a personal reading, then see the description box for info on that. I'll be back in a few weeks for mid-month check-ins, and I'll probably do some shorts in between for the things like the new moon, full moon, Pluto going direct in your sign as well. So until then, I hope that November goes well for you. Scorpio season isn't it? It's a deep dive. It's always a deep dive during Scorpio season, so I'm not even surprised this kind of thing has come up. And then King of Cups is Scorpio. So yeah. But until I see you again, Aquarius, take care.